Wow, man, I'm telling you, the Parts View workbench
It's full of bait.
is full of bait.
Full of dead stuff.
I love it though, Dave. So let's get right into it. You know, we're in Texas, we're talking about offshore.
Right.
Dead bait trolling or maybe swordfish baits.
Correct.
For those guys that love to do that.
Pretty much dead bait stuff offshore. We're gonna start by how to choose, your ballyhoos. Ballyhoos are a great bait because of the way they're shaped and everything. They're a thin cylindrical fish, so they swim really well. And there's a lot of them out there for them to chase after. And what you're wanting to look for when you buy a pack of ballyhoos, first thing is you want it to be vacuum packed.
Right.
You don't want to have any air in there to get any reason for for it to get freezer burn. And if it's all sucked out of there, it ain't gonna happen. You wanna check out the skin. You want it to be shiny. You don't want there any cuts in this skin.
Right.
And you want the tails to be nice, have a nice red spot on them,
right,
and a nice red tip on the beak.
Got
and
it.
that tells you that those have been taken care of and they've been fresh. And the reason you don't want any tears in the skin is because when you're out there trolling, any tiny little tear in the skin becomes an ingress for water.
Right.
And the water gets in there and does what we call a washout.
A washout.
And the bait will wash out and get all stodgy and just full waterlogged. It looks waterlogged. And it won't swim correctly.
So let me ask you, Dave.
Sure.
When I'm looking at these in the package, now do they come in a variety of sizes? How do you know what to order?
Yes, they come in smalls, mediums, and larges usually, unless you're going to get select ones, and we'll talk about those later. But usually it's small, mediums, and large. Smalls are great for sailfish, your dolphin, most of your trolling, your kingfish even.
Right.
Everything will eat a small ballyhoo. And then when you get to mediums, you're out there chasing, white, actually sailfish and white marlin will both eat smalls as well.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we mostly pull smalls when we're trying to catch white marlin because they go right down the hatch. And those are smaller billfish. So the smaller ones, smalls and mediums for sails and white marlin, even striped marlin. And but once you get to the bigger fish, you want to start using bigger ones, blue marlins, bigger striped marlins.
So you mentioned something about select. What is that?
Well, a select ballyhoo is one like this, a horse ballyhoo. It's a big ballyhoo.
So this would be considered a horse because it's so big.
Correct. And you can put any type of a skirt or something on top of that.
You can see the difference.
And it's big enough for a blue marlin to switch off a big teaser to come and eat that big ballyhoo there.
And so these guys at Baitmasters, they sell all this stuff. You can get them pre-rigged or just packaged and put them on your own.
Correct. And I'll tell you, there's not many places that I would recommend to buy pre-rigged baits, just because there's a lot of difference in the quality. Baitmasters is one of those people. Bionic Baits is another one. But Baitmasters, to me, if you go all over the world, the guys who are really serious about catching fish, they're ordering Baitmasters online and having it come to them.
Okay, now it's very popular in Texas, the swordfish. So the squids, these guys obviously have big squids already rigged, ready to go too.
Yeah, so this is a swordfish bait, or you could even troll this bait if you had to. But this is made for a swordfish bait. This one here, but you could troll it, and just like these little squids. The squids have been kind of passed over a lot in the last 10 or 15, 20 years.
Right.
We used to use squid a lot more, even longer. We used to use squid a lot more than we use now, and it's really a shame. The problem is the squid are kind of messy. They mess up the boat. They don't last very long as far as being trolled and whatnot. But they're excellent for a pitch bait for a big blue marlin, or even to be trolled for dolphins and whatnot. This is one of my favorite baits of all, and it is a split tail mullet. And this one's rigged with wire. This is my favorite wahoo bait down the center. My center long is this split tail mullet with a big chin weight and a wire leader. And this is a double hook rig. So this is my wahoo slayer right here. And sometimes I'll put a big orange sea witch on its head, orange and black. And that's a great bait for that.
And then what about the eels now? Yeah,
this is a trolling swordfish bait. If you're slow trolling for swords, or even just deep dropping for swords, an eel will work. Mackerels. This is another trolling bait. It's a big mackerel made for a marlin. This is a marlin bait with a circle hook in it, and this is made to catch big blue marlins. And Again, you can put a skirt on top of that or even a lure head, but the same goes with the mackerel. You want to have clear eyes, clear skin, no breaks. The tails have to look nice. You don't want your, one tail of the lobe broke off. It'll make it swim wonky. Just make sure that you take a really good look at them before you pull them out of that cooler and take them home.
Guys, Baitmasters ships all over the world, so
they are the best.
Don't think you guys can't get them in Texas.
They're the master. Nope.
Oh.
Okay, I didn't get you to say it. That was a
goodness.
trick. All right. Good bait is everything, guys. All right.